Welcome to the first episode of Ricky Rambles. I'm Ricky. Did you see the game last night? The Yankee game versus Boston, June 9th, 2023. Let's talk about it. Before the series even starts, Nestor Cortes gives ammunition to Boston for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Talks about, well, they haven't really been the same team they've been, so it's not what we have with Tampa Bay or Toronto. Well, how about this? Boston won a World Series in the last 5 years. What have the Yankees done? Got into a few ALCSs? Congratulations. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. You're in June. You're already 9.5 games back at Tampa Bay, 4 in the loss column back at Baltimore, and we're giving ammunition to Boston? What are we doing? We have to be better than that. There needs to be a championship intensity every game, not, oh, the rivalry doesn't feel the same because they're not as good. You haven't done crap. There needs to be intensity every single game, especially in the division. I mean, last night, we have our ace, Garrett Cole, on the mound. What do we provide him with? 2 runs. One of them wasn't even earned. IKF steals second. They throw it in the center field. He gets to third, gets home in a wild pitch. I mean, what are we doing? We score 1 run off a Donaldson bomb, who, by the way, has 6 of his last hits, 5 are bombs, but he's done nothing else besides that. We got to step it up. I know he's coming back from injury, but Aaron Boone said he was going to have a great year this year. So far, he hasn't been on the field, and when he has been, I mean, we got to be better. We have to be better. And Garrett Whitlock is a good young pitcher. He's 26 years old. He's going to be in the league a long time. But we have to do better than 1 earned run. Have to. Let's just talk about the at-bats in the 9th inning. Jake Bauers leads off the 9th inning, right? The 0-1 cutter, middle in, was a very hittable pitch. He takes it. Fine, but you better fight 0-2. What's he do? He chases it high. Terrible at-bat. Then IKF comes up, the 0-0 heater, right down the middle. And what's he do? He takes it. And we better not be taking first pitch strike. This is the major leagues. So what's he do? After the 0-0 fastball that he takes right down the middle, he swings at a cutter 2 balls off the plate and pops it out to shallow right. 2 terrible at-bats to start the inning. And I know Kenley Jansen's a good pitcher. I know he's got over 400 saves, but the guy's got a 7.88 ERA since he recorded the 400 save. He hasn't been good in the last few stretch of games. Billy McKinney gets a flare job to the opposite field, shallow left. And then Glaber pieces one up the middle, and it looks like he's starting to turn it around, which is a very good sign for this baseball team. So you got first and second, 2 outs, the young kid Anthony Volpe at the plate. And he actually puts together a pretty good at-bat. He takes some really good swings at some good pitches to hit, lays off the balls, and he nearly ends the game by about 4 feet foul. What's he end up doing? He pops up to short. But here's the disturbing thing. In 2009, the last time the Yankees won the World Series, mind you, they're playing at home June 12th against the Mets. Bottom of the 9th, Jeter's on third, Mark Teixeira's on first, 2 outs, down by 1, A-Rod's at the plate. He pops the ball up to second baseman Luis Castillo in shallow right. Well, guess what happens? Mark Teixeira is hustling around the bases. He ends up scoring when Luis Castillo drops the ball. Go back and watch the game ending last night. Gleyber Torres is not hustling around second base. I know that ball's in the infield, and it's different than shallow right, but he had no chance of scoring. He wasn't sprinting. He might have not made it to third. I mean, where's the grit? Where's the toughness? Where's the we're going all out until the game's over? It's not there with this team. And that's the difference between a championship team in 2009 and whatever the 2023 Yankees are going to be. And I know this team isn't healthy, and I know that a lot of young guys and a lot of role players are having to step up into bigger things, but someone needs to show some leadership. I mean, Garrett Cole, I know that the Devers double to start the first run that they scored should have been caught. I know that it would have been caught if Judge and Bader were out there, but they weren't. But you can't show up your teammates. You can't give the bad body language. It cannot happen. You're supposed to be the leader of the team. Besides Judge, you're the $300 million man. You're the guy that when we need a win in the postseason, you go out and get it. But you can't do that by showing up your teammates. I want you to step up into a bigger leadership role. Because I think you are that guy and you can be that guy. But again, I know the team isn't healthy, but we can't send out 3 better guys in a row than Jake Bauers, IKF, and Billy McKinney in the 9th inning, down 1, when we're already 9.5 games back and it's June. But we're not at full strength. And Cashman has to do something to improve this team. But why aren't the Yankees healthy? Why does it seem like no one's healthy at the same time? Does it have to do with Cashman paying guys with a history of injury? Maybe. Does it have to do with Cashman paying guys past their prime? Maybe. Does it have to do with the medical staff? Maybe. And I know you can't predict injuries, but this team is just not going to be at full strength, and it hasn't. The team that Brian Cashman has constructed over the last few years has not been at full strength come October, when it matters. So it's unrealistic to think that this team will too, because the team that's on paper that's going to be the start of opening day is not going to be what we have in October. And for most teams, it isn't that. But for us, we're going to be missing 1, 2, or 3 superstars or key players that we thought were going to contribute because we don't keep them healthy. So Cashman has to make an adjustment. But that adjustment needs to be pressured by Hal Steinbrenner. Because when the Yankees were competing for championships year in and year out, the intensity started with George Steinbrenner, and Hal has not put that on the rest of the team yet, and he needs to start right now. Otherwise, the Yankees are going to continue to fall short. And that is not good enough for their fans, for their franchise, or their owner. Or it shouldn't be, at least.